It shouldn't be long now. There it is! Look!
Where, Elliot?
Up there, right in front of you.
Where? I still don't see it.
Look straight up, you see?
Oh, right. Now I see. Are you sure it's a space shuttle?
Sure, I'm sure. It's right on time, too.
It's traveling so fast.
I'm gonna get a closer look. Hey, what's wrong? I can't see it.
Oh, where is it now? Ah, there it is. It's so pretty. These binoculars are great.
I don't believe this. Oh, I lost it.
Oh, it's beautiful, Elliot.
Lend me your binoculars a minute.
Hold on.
Come on, Marie.
You have your telescope. That's not fair, Elliot.
Ah, now I see it. It's the shuttle, all right. Darn, the trees are blocking it. Come on, Marie. Hurry. We might be able to see it better from over here, I think. I never got to see the space shuttle close up. Not even for a second.
I saw it real well. It was fantastic.
Oh,
I'm sure you'll see it better next time. Space shuttle launchings take place very often, you know.
I've seen space shuttles from close up, and they're really incredible. And especially when they're manned.
Oh, if only I could see one.
Jeannie, I absolutely have to go aboard a space shuttle.
Stop dreaming, Marie. It's impossible.
No, it isn't, Elliot. I read somewhere that there were even women astronauts, right, Jeannie? And when I grow up, I want to be an astronaut.
You know, Marie, I think you can succeed, too.
Did you hear that, Elliot? How do you go about it, Jeannie?
It's not all that easy to become an astronaut. You've got to be an engineer with a degree in mathematics and in physics as well.
Really?
Yes, and to pilot a shuttle, you've got to have 10,000 hours of experience as a test pilot.
Forget it, Marie.
Not only that, but you've got to be in perfect physical condition, and there are lots of candidates, too.
Even if you're good, there's lots of tough competition.
There sure is.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh.
And don't forget the 1 year of intensive training at NASA. Emergency evacuation, weightlessness tests in a swimming pool, studying possible emergencies, physical and intellectual training. It's a very difficult and demanding effort.
Forget it.
Don't cry. I'll take you to the space shuttle without any training.
Wonderful!
This is a dream come true.
And you laughed at me. You wouldn't be here if not for me, you know.
You're right, I'm sorry.
Have you got room for another passenger?
Now for a little intensive onboard training. Ready?
But that's not what you said.
I'm just kidding. It might be a good idea to talk about the beginnings of space exploration and the first shuttles.
Now that's more like it.
The history of rockets, believe it or not, goes back 700 years to a time when they were used as weapons. The space rocket, though, began in the 20th century. A Russian, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, the father of space travel, demonstrated that a voyage in space was possible aboard a vehicle with a rocket engine. And in 1926, an American named Goddard successfully launched the first rocket using liquid fuel. But the flight was only 2.5 seconds long. 30 years later, in October 1957, the Soviet Union launched the very first man-made satellite, Sputnik. In January 1959, it was the Americans' turn to launch their satellite, Explorer. And just about 2 years later, before any man had ever been launched into space, NASA, the American Space Agency, began the Apollo program, the goal of which was to send a man to the moon.
Oh!
Meanwhile, however, the Russians sent the first man into space. In April 1961, Yuri Gagarin, aboard the capsule Vostok, became the first man ever to orbit the Earth. The Americans then made up for lost time. In February 1962, John Glenn orbited the Earth 3 times aboard Friendship 7. This Mercury capsule was smaller than Vostok and wasn't controlled from Earth. An astronaut was able to pilot it himself. Gemini replaced the Mercury program with a 2-passenger capsule. Flights took place within the Gemini program, all destined to improve rendezvous and docking techniques. Thanks to these experiments, the Apollo program advanced, and on July 21st, 1969, the LEM was fired, and man took his very first historic steps on the moon.
What a fantastic adventure.
But although the rocket, the LEM, and the module went up, only the Apollo capsule returned to Earth.
What a waste.
Yes, and that's why a more economical means of space transportation was attempted. A reusable space shuttle.
Oh, wow! I can't wait to see it!
I want to go on board.
So do I.
Me too.
I got the message. Off we go to Cape Canaveral in Florida, kids. Ali!
I didn't realize how big the space shuttle was. It's a monster.
How can something so heavy leave the ground?
Oh, it flies very well, I assure you. The engines are powerful enough for blast-off. There is no problem at all. You see, the space shuttle consists of 3 parts. There are the 2 white booster rockets, one on each side, as you can see. At an altitude of 27 miles, they detach, and we pick them up later on. The largest part is the outside tank, which is not saved, as the boosters are. It's filled with fuel, hydrogen, and liquid oxygen. And then there's the shuttle itself, the only part that will orbit the Earth. After the mission, it will re-enter the atmosphere and land in the same way as a glider.
Doc, do you know the difference between the shuttle and a normal rocket?
Let me see.
There's a very big difference. Classic rockets are able to launch satellites automatically, but they're only used once.
A space shuttle, on the other hand, can launch satellites, get them back if necessary, and it can work in a space laboratory. And what's more, kids, it can be used again and again, just like an airplane. That's what's so fantastic about it. Well, if you want to board the shuttle, you'd better get going now, my friends. The gangway's in place.
Hurry, let's go.
Come on!
Welcome aboard, kids. You're all astronauts today.
I can't believe I'm about to board a space shuttle!
I'll never forget this day.
You mean we can really go aboard?
Of course, but one at a time.
Robots first.
Hey, what about us?
Yeah,
what about us? Come on,
It looks like rush hour on the subway.
Control room calling Discovery. Do you read me, Discovery? Over.
Discovery here. Read you loud and clear. Over and out. Let's check out the consoles. AO5 okay? AO9 okay? Cockpit?
You are a real ace, Doc.
He's got the instruction manual in front of him.
Mind your own business, big shot. I'm following NASA instructions like a pro.
This is the gangway. The lateral door is secured.
Roger.
Attention, please. Control room here. Check all onboard parameters.
Roger.
To all members of ground crew, evacuate launching area.
Discovery here. Inserting launching program into computer.
Message received. Over and
The
out.
computer analyzes the parameters for possible breakdowns.
You mean there are breakdowns?
If a parameter is not correct, the computer interrupts the launching sequence and the launching is delayed for a few days.
What if there's a serious safety problem?
Control room here, entering final launch phase.
Verification completed, Houston. Over and out.
Remove gangway.
All is well here. Over.
There's no stopping it now, huh? What if a problem crops up at the last second?
In the worst cases, an evacuation is always possible. But there is some risk involved.
What kind of risk?
Not running fast enough! You see, there's always a way out, so stop worrying so much and get ready for blastoff.
Well, we're all strapped in and ready to go.
Great! And now get ready for the thrill of your life.
Control room here, ready for final phase of launching. Control room here, hydrogen pressure in tank is normal.
Ready for blast off.
Beginning computer countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Launching successful! Hooray! Congratulations, Discovery. Everything's running smoothly.
Oh, we're breaking the sound barrier. Reduce engine power to 65%.
Roger! Control room, Discovery here. Boosters function perfectly. Ready to cast off boosters. Roger. Boosters cast off.
All systems operating well. Pressure normal. Good luck on your mission, Discovery.
In order to tear itself away from the Earth's gravity, the shuttle must be equipped with an extremely powerful engine, allowing it to reach its initial orbit. 8 minutes and 32 seconds after blastoff, the main engine stops and the main fuel tank is cast off. 10 minutes 33 seconds after takeoff, the auxiliary engines are ignited in order for the shuttle to reach its working orbit. Once this orbit is reached, the gas is cut. Now we're 240 miles from Earth.
Wow, that's fantastic! We're in outer space!
I'm glad everything went well. Weren't you a little scared?
Not me! Oh Oh, look! You can see the Earth just above our heads.
Is the shuttle upside down?
Don't be silly. Terms like upside down don't mean anything in space.
I get it. We're in a state of weightlessness. That's why everything floats in space.
Whoa!
Look at my pen.
Gotcha! Pen recovered, mission accomplished. Life in weightlessness is different from life on Earth. It's worth studying.
Oh, I'm floating on my seat.
If you take your seatbelt off, you'll float just as your pen did. In a state of weightlessness, there's no top or bottom. There's no such thing as weight. You get the idea, kids?
Can you live like that?
Sure you can. You can even work and perform medical, physical, and biological experiments. That's what makes working in space so important. Man can perform many experiments in space that would be impossible on Earth, like analyzing his own behavior to prepare for longer voyages, to Mars, for example. Doctors collect basic data on the health of astronauts, which give us a better understanding of the influences of weightlessness during a spaceflight. During a mission, which is usually no longer than 5 days, lots of experiments and other work are carried out, such as repairing and recovering satellites, perfecting new pharmaceutical products or alloys that can only be tested in space. NASA, as well as the European Space Agency, are both aware of the limits of automatic systems. Man is indispensable when it comes to carrying out complex tasks. The experiments carried out in the Space Lab program are proof of this. Well, are you brave enough to unstrap yourselves?
Yeah!
Oh! What are you doing? Hold on to something!
What can I
Don't panic! Calm down now! Hang on and move around slowly.
Okay, Jeannie.
And if your hands are occupied, use your feet to hold on.
do? Oh, you're right. It doesn't weigh anything.
Be very careful. That's fine. Great!
Coming down.
I wonder what's in this cupboard. Space food? I'll bet it's good. Mmm.
Let's have a look outside. Ah!
Our shuttle is really gigantic.
The bay is 14 feet in diameter and 55 feet long.
You could fit a big bus inside, huh?
Do you think one day we'll take the shuttle like we take planes today, as simple tourists?
I doubt that, Elliot, simply because the price of such a trip would come to $500,000 per person.
$500,000?
Well, I guess that's gonna have to wait.
Hey, it's dinner time, everybody!
Hooray!
Yum,
Yum, yum, yum, yum, yum, yum, yum.
I'm hungry.
First of all, make sure that the tray is fastened very well. Then you can taste these specially prepared dishes. Enjoy your meal.
Thank you, Jeannie.
I like the taste.
It's like being in a restaurant.
Yes, it is.
Hey, I think someone opened the passage.
You know, I'll bet it's our robot friend. He seems to be really smart, doesn't he?
It's his very first walk in space, but he's been programmed to work out there.
It says here that his mission is to repair a poorly positioned satellite.
I wonder how he's going to get there.
He's taking the space scooter.
He's much more clever than I thought he was.
That's because he's got well-designed software.
Look, I think he's almost at the satellite.
Go on, robot. You can do it.
He's never going to reach the satellite if he keeps turning around like that.
Show us your stuff, robot!
Fantastic! He did it!
He's my hero.
Well, here I go. It's my turn now.
Better use the arm manipulator.
It shouldn't be too hard. Here it goes.
Be careful, Genie! Oh!
Hey, would you mind being a little more careful? I'll get even with you, huh?
Stop that right now and obey my orders.
I think I'm about to play an international joke.
International?
Yes, that's right. I'm gonna play my favorite song on old telephones.
Huh?
He wasn't programmed for bangs on the head. We'll see about this.
Oh, what up?
Roger, ready for re-entry. Over.
We've sighted you, Discovery. Welcome back to Earth.
Thanks, Houston.
Four, three, two, one, landing.
A perfect landing, Discovery. Well done.
I can't say I mind being back on good old terra firma again.
It was really a fantastic trip, but it sure was scary at times.
Europe is also working on a space shuttle. Here is the launching site at Kourou in Guyana. Europe has developed the Ariane program for launching satellites into space. A new generation of launchers, Ariane 5, will inaugurate the launching of the European space shuttle Hermes. The first flight is expected at the end of this century. Its main mission will be to transport scientific instruments to the European Space Station Columbus, which will be docked with the American station Freedom. This station will allow for long stays in space and will be a base for important scientific experimentation and observation. It will permit observation of the solar system unhindered by the atmospheric layer and the study of astronaut behavior over long periods in space. Hermes and the orbital station will introduce a new era in the field of space conquest. Well then, how did you enjoy your voyage on the American Space Shuttle?
Great, but now we want to go further.
How about a voyage on an interplanetary space probe to Neptune?
To Neptune?
What are we waiting for?